while in Beitbridge East constituency there were very long queues. In Midlands, most of the polling stations opened on time. In Vungu constituency, voter turnout ranged from 6 to 90 people per queue, while in Gweru urban constituency it ranged from 29 to 203 people per queue. The highest turnout was recorded at Kwekwe Primary School polling station with 150 people in that queue at 8 a.m. This is the update on voting from the provinces. These statistics are as at 8 a.m. this morning. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission would like to remind chief election agents, and observers, including members of the media fraternity, that it is a violation of their code of conduct to interview any voters at a polling station or on their way to or from a polling station. It has come to our attention that some media houses are in fact conducting live interviews with voters at polling stations, which is in direct contravention of Clause 7 of the first schedule to our Electoral Act. Those found in breach of the code risk their accreditation being revoked without any further warning. Please be warned and please comply with the laws of our country. I would like to read out a press statement on campaigning by political parties. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission notes with concern continued violations of the Electoral Act by candidates contesting the 2018 harmonized elections. On 29 July 2018, at least 2 of the presidential candidates gave statements which were published in the news media which might be interpreted as campaigning. These matters have been referred to the attention of the police for investigation as to whether or not the Electoral Act and or the Electoral Code of Conduct may have been violated. All political parties and candidates are reminded that the Code of Conduct for political parties, which they all signed in its paragraph 7, says, no political party or candidate may, from midnight 24 hours before polling day in any election or referendum until polling stations are closed on that day, convene or hold a public gathering of any kind, and secondly, publish or cause or permit the publication of any advertisement or statement promoting or opposing a particular party or candidate. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission would like to urge the political parties and candidates to be exemplary and to comply with the provisions of the law. The said paragraph also provides that no political party or candidate may disrupt the work of election officials at a polling or counting center, campaign or display campaign material within 300 meters of a polling station or counting center, coerce a voter who does not require assistance to be assisted to vote. All political parties and their members and supporters and all candidates and their supporters must cooperate with election officials to ensure that polling is peaceful and orderly and that voters are completely free to exercise their vote without being subjected to intimidation, annoyance or disturbance, and generally conduct themselves so as to respect the secrecy and integrity of the ballot. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission continues to urge the electorate to remain peaceful and conduct themselves in a manner that is tolerant of their fellow citizen. Thank you very much. I'll hand back to you. Perhaps if you want, you might want to allow a few questions, maybe with Mr. Slaigwana's assistance. Not right. Too many.
I think we'll allow a couple of questions. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. My name is Claire. I would like to find out about what consequences are there for candidates that violate the Electoral Act, because it's quite clear from the act that you've just read now that both the presidential candidate, Mr. Mnangagwa, and Chamisa violated that because they published political statements. What consequences are there? And are you leaving it to the police to investigate and decide if that act was violated? Thank you.
As you may or may not know, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission does not have investigative powers. So traditionally, what we normally do is where complaints have been received with regards to whether or not the Electoral Act and or its regulations have been violated, we refer such complaints to those bodies that have investigative powers, such as the Zimbabwe Republic Police and or the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. And it is only where we've been advised that sufficient evidence has been found of a violation of the Electoral Act that we then contemplate what possible action to take as a commission. There are two routes that can be taken. One is criminal in terms of the Electoral Act. A violation of the Electoral Act is a criminal offence which has certain stiff penalties in the Electoral Act. And secondly, the other route is to go the civil route, where one approaches the Electoral Court for a declaration that the Electoral Act has been violated. We will consider whether or not there has been sufficient evidence established to take further action, whether using the criminal route or the civil route, against anyone who may have been found to be in violation of the Act.
Right, so allow the please.
Good afternoon. I'm Criselda Lewis from the SABC in Johannesburg. Ma'am, could you confirm for us, what we do know is that the MDC Alliance leader, Nelson Chamisa, was reported to police for alleged violations. Can you confirm for us if President Emerson Mnangagwa has also been reported to police for these alleged Electoral Act violations?
Ma'am, if you've been listening to me, you will have heard that I've very carefully avoided mentioning specific names. I have said 2 candidates were reported to have been in violation. I have said the violations have been referred to the police, and in the interest of maintaining a peaceful environment whilst voting is going on, I respectfully decline to confirm the names of such candidates.
And the States.
Can I follow? Good afternoon, Alvin St-Pierre from ENCA. Is it not strange that the Electoral Commission was comfortable with confirming that Nelson Chamisa has a case against him, but now the Electoral Commission is not comfortable in confirming who the second person is who may have violated the electoral laws?
Thank you very much for that question, sir. Today is polling day, and we need peace, and we need everyone to be comfortable to go out to exercise their right to vote without fear. And as I have said, once the Zimbabwe Republic Police has confirmed whether or not there's been any evidence, that information will be shared with you at the appropriate time. Today is time for Zimbabweans to go out, exercise their right to vote without being afraid or without being intimidated.
Right, I'll allow one more question, one last one. Susan.
I just want to you mentioned that voter turnout so far has been high. Could you just give us an indication in terms of percentages?
Thank you very much for that question, ma'am. As you may have heard, when I was giving out the statistics this morning, the statistics were taken as at 8 a.m. And we don't actually have specific figures from all the provinces as of now for us to be able to calculate a percentage for you. What I can tell you is that when we have the roundup in the evening, and we have our last press conference in the evening, we may have some tentative statistics to share with you at that time.
Right, thank you so much, Madam Chair. And also thank you so much, members of the media, for coming through. We will now wrap up this conference, and we'll be giving you extra briefings along the day as voting continues. Special mention to those watching us from ZBC TV.